Nick.
Oh, hey, Tys.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 121 of Nick Tyson Videotape. Welcome to the shortest ever episode of Nick Tyson Videotape. I'm calling it right now.
It's going to be the shortest. Look,
because we are talking about, as part of our Christmas, not quite Christmas movies, or this is a legit Christmas movie.
I don't know why, though. It's not very merry.
No, it's not.
It's quite...
No, a reindeer gets punched in the face. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
Just drop that on me. I totally forgot that a reindeer gets punched in the... Well, it had it coming, to be honest.
Yeah, look,
let's be real.
So we are talking about the 1996 comedy, ?
Piece of
Jingle All the Way, starring our favourite.
Our man,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He's our fave. He's our action man.
Look, on Nick Tice, we like to hit you with the ultimate classic. Something that's amazing, something that's great. We go from Die Hard to the absolute bottom.
Yeah. We have dropped far.
We don't no, but we're going to give you a lot of things. A lot of other people that've been doing what's out at the cinema right now.
I don't know, The Irishman.
The Irishman,
it's not
sure,
at the cinema.
Exactly. But they'd be doing The Irishman.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you want to hear dudes talk for an hour about The Irishman?
Exactly.
Or do you want to hear dudes talk for an hour about Jingle All the Way?
That's what I'm talking about.
Look out.
We're going to talk about Jingle All the Way.
You know where it's at. But Nick, before we do any of that, why don't you tell people where they can find our show?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Thank you for joining in. We are very humbled that you've picked Jingle All the Way and not The Irishman.
Exactly.
We thank you humbly. Thank you for, if you do like what you hear, please like, subscribe, rate, review, all of those things.
All those things.
Chuck a review on. Do a mad review.
If you would take the time to write a review, we'd be forever grateful. Thank you to those people that have written a review on the iTunes Store.
Absolutely.
Or on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate it immensely.
Even if it is one sentence, we love that.
We'll take one sentence.
Please.
Just make sure it's a good sentence.
Exactly. Yeah, Jingle All the Way was my favourite episode. Apart from that, we are on all the socials. We are on Instagram, Twitter. What are the others? Faces. That's it. Facebook.
YouTube.
You can look at us up on YouTube. You can look at us up. And we are on the amazing movie app that is Letterboxd. You can follow Tyson and myself and see what we're watching through the week because I'll be real. I'll be transparent. I needed a palate cleanser after this, Tyson. I really did. I needed something that was decent. So, you can see what Tyson and myself are watching as well.
Good.
To follow my friend Tyson, he's TYS_videotape, and I am NIC_videotape.
And do not forget, you can send us an email by writing to nicktysonvideotape@gmail.com.
100%.
And we will happily, maybe if it's a good email, we might read it on air.
Yeah.
Nick, let's get to our first segment because we've got some fun things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Talkin Trailers.
Let's Talkin Trailers, Tys.
Everybody's talking trailers.
Tys?
Yes, Nicholas.
We had like a dry spell. It was a drought for a while. And now we've just had a floodgate of things.
It's opened. The floodgates have opened. We're starting to get the summer 2020 kind of trailers landing, which is all very exciting because these are we are a sucker for blockbusters, the summer season. Not our summer, of course.
No.
But
start the hype train.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And so we've had two big releases have their trailers this week. So which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk Wonder Woman.
All right, let's do that.
My life hasn't been what you probably think it has. We all have our struggles.
Have you ever been in love?
A long, long time ago. You?
So many times. Yeah, all the time.
Welcome to the future. Life is good, but it can be better. And why shouldn't it be? All you need is to want it. Think about finally having everything you always wanted.
I can save today, but you can save the world.
Steve.
Now,
I take what I want in return.
everyone will see. needs you. You know what you need to do.
Nothing good is born from lies. And greatness is not what you think. It's all art. That's just a trash can.
It's just a trash can. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Now, Nicholas.
Yes, Tyson.
So we've been hearing about this for a little while. Wonder Woman 84.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. Was this not meant to come out this year?
It was originally meant to come out this year.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It was meant to be released December this year. Mm-hmm. And they pushed it back. So
Sure.
I think maybe it could be a number of reasons. Maybe it wasn't ready.
Yep.
It's already pretty stacked. I feel like nobody really wants to open against a Star Wars. And
Well, you'd be stupid enough, especially because it's the last one of the Skywalker saga. So.
Exactly. And I mean,
that's smart.
That's going to kind of be the boss for probably 2 weeks, I'd say. Maybe even 3 during December.
And Warner Brothers, God bless them, they're the only one that isn't owned by Disney.
Well, that's it.
You know,
So,
more power to them. Even though they're not, they haven't been great on the blockbuster line
look,
as
they're
of
hit and
late.
miss,
But
for
you know,
sure.
hey, Joker, I'm telling you, it got in people by the billions. Joker was Warner Brothers, yeah, of course it was, yeah. But Tyson,
Yes, Nick.
Wonder Woman 84.
Yes. I have very little to say about this actually.
Do you really?
Yeah, well, I was just rewatching it, and it's funny because visually I'm enjoying what I'm seeing.
Sure.
And there are cool moments,
Yes,
and
there are.
there's she uses her lasso.
Yeah, you said lasso. You can say lasso or lasso. Lasso. That's so Australian.
A lasso.
A lasso.
To lightning hop. Basically, from one lightning bolt to another.
That's pretty badass.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty badass.
But at the end of the trailer, I kind of found myself just like, well, what's the point? What's going on?
What's the plot? You want a little bit more story, do you?
You honestly get nothing.
Yeah. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, look,
though,
I know
Tys.
we're hypocrites because sometimes we're like, don't give us the whole fucking story, blah, 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 we have a whinge. But I kind of it was really just a trailer for
it's to get the hype train moving. Yeah, hype train. Yeah, because you know that trailer 2 is going to be the plot trailer.
Yeah, look, and of course. But even as like someone who knows or has like a relatively elementary level of I combined
of
elementary
Wonder
level into one word and it became elemental. An elementary level of knowledge of these characters.
Sure.
Like I'm okay. Wonder Woman's never been, the one that I follow, closely.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know these characters, and I, as they pop up on the screen, I am still finding myself being very just like not engaged just yet.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, well, there's the dude from Game of Thrones that got his face crushed. Cool. Oh yeah, it's Kristen Wiig.
Hey, Kristen Wiig, what's
awesome.
up? Yeah,
she's going to be the Panther.
She's Cheetah.
Cheetah.
So,
right.
For those who know a bit of Wonder Woman lore, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that Wonder Woman Cheetah is Wonder Woman's Lex Luthor, her arch nemesis.
Right.
So, yeah. Her powers are very more magical, but who knows what they're going to do in the realistic world of 1984.
Looks like it's maybe science-based stuff because there's a shot of her, with nerdy glasses looking at a computer screen. It's like, okay, well, we're doing that.
The way of the science.
We're doing that way.
I like it.
Game of Thrones guy has like a crystal of some description in his hand.
He does have some form of a crystal. Who knows what that is?
So that's probably going to come into play.
Yep. I'm all for this though. I know it was eye candy and it was great. To be honest, it was the Depeche Mode that did it for me. Oh, it really was.
Sorry.
Shit. Sorry.
New Order.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Jesus.
80s new wave fans just
Good
fucking
Lord.
shat their pants.
Yeah, I just got shot in the face. Good Lord. Sorry. I'm thinking of Ready Player One. That was the trailer that
Sure. It
was very much similar to that.
Whereas, look, the song is very effective, and it helps build the. Because they're not the 80s stuff isn't really over the top at the moment.
It isn't.
The font of the text in the trailer itself is very 80s. It's all neon and 3D and all that stuff.
And many colours.
But the physical stuff in it's a bit subtler.
Yeah, you're not seeing it. It's not as in your face, except for the mall shot when they show the mall in that skyscraper shot that they do is very 80s. I feel I'm okay. Like I've mentioned this. We mentioned this. I think it was like 6 months ago when. No, it was when. No, I'm thinking of something else. Okay. But when movies are coming out, like things like that, and they're doing like a retro Stranger Things, remember the 80s, they've jumped on that train. I'm fine with that. I think more movies should do it, to be honest.
I don't mind it at all. Yeah. I enjoy throwing back to that decade. Yeah. I love it when a score is John Carpenter synth. I'm all about it. It's fine. You know, and I know it's kind of a cheap way to build nostalgic points. Yeah, but hey, you get me. Fine. It's fine.
Exactly.
I'm on board when I hear that stuff and when I see that kind of throwback mentality.
It's going to be interesting though, because where does this movie sit with the Justice League that we all saw at the cinema day one? You know,
day one. It was on its last legs when I finally dragged myself into the cinema to see it.
Oh man, I waited for streaming.
Well, this is the thing. It's one of those. It's a prequel movie that now is going to inform all the character choices that we've seen, because it's before every part that we've all the films that we've seen, except for obviously her solo film.
Yep.
So all of her appearances, BVS, and just those two.
League.
Is it just those two? And her own solo movie? That's all she's in? Yeah. So this is going to now, we're going to have to,
we haven't had any other movies.
Retcon any character choices and things like that. So that's interesting. That's sometimes can be dangerous, playing with fire a little bit, but we'll see what happens.
I know that
Black Widow is also doing a similar thing, so we're going to have to deal with that situation there as well.
Yeah. I do know that the Kevin Feige of Warner Brothers was fired. Well, not fired. I think he stepped down, to be honest.
Yes, it was Jeff Johns.
I forget his name.
Was that him?
I don't know. But yes, he stepped down because, I don't know, creative. Who knows?
Yep.
So yeah, at that point, if you were in charge of this, Tyson, would you see this movie as a point where you can go, okay, so clearly that didn't work with BVS and Justice. How about we use Wonder Woman 84 to turn the tides around a bit? That was that timeline. We're gonna turn it a different way, because you could, and that's the best thing about these things. They could turn it around. Yeah. They really could.
Well, as far as I know, they're no longer really trying to tie things into a universe.
Sure.
I think they realized that it didn't work. They shut the bed.
Yeah.
They should have just listened to the thousands of millions of people that said it was a bad idea and that you can't rush these things, but they didn't.
Because we don't know these characters at all.
Yeah, and so now they've kind of learnt their lesson, I think, and their priority now is more self-contained storytelling.
Yeah.
Which is
good on them.
Which is great, because I actually don't need another cinematic universe. I think let Marvel do that, and maybe let's DC be more of, let's keep our characters in their own world for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like, we can make exceptionally good movies that don't have like throwaway moments that lead to a bigger universe around you, or that the possibility, like, you don't watch the Dark Knight trilogy and then wonder what Superman's up to. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Good
like,
point.
We don't care about that stuff. The character stands well enough on its own, and exists in a world where it's probably better that it is just Batman. And, you know, maybe now they can kind of say, okay, cool, so let's separate Wonder Woman from this a little bit. Let's just kind of, obviously, by setting it at 84, Superman, Batman, they're alive, but they're not who they are yet.
Yeah, they're not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she can exist in this self-contained world where at that point in time she might be the only superhero that's kind of in existence.
Nice, I like it.
And maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's part of the choice of setting it back then, because now they don't have to worry about how do we make this set up with this and blah, blah, blah.
Why isn't Superman in this one?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the Flash? Everyone loves the Flash. I like it.
Yeah,
contain it. It's good.
I have no complaints. It's just a weird kind of, I think, as I'm still a little bit, I mean, I can't help it.
You're still burnt,
I'm still burnt by a lot
are.
of these choices that they've made so far.
Did you see, sorry to jump in, did you see Shazam, Tys?
Yeah, I didn't mind Shazam.
So the end of that, Soups rocks up at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just, I love what they did. They cut his head off, and I was like, no. It's Superman in name form, and we don't need to.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, that's all it needed to be.
It was good.
Yeah. Shazam I enjoyed, like, for what it was.
You
yeah,
liked
because
it more than me.
Yeah, I think I did, but not to a huge extent.
You're not buying it on Blu-ray, are you?
No. I haven't bought any of this new DC movies on Blu-ray
I bought
or DVD. I don't have them at all.
I bought Wonder Woman. I bought the first Wonder Woman as
And look, we've talked about this. It's probably the strongest movie of the bunch.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's fantastic. I think it's a competently made, pretty effective origin story.
Yeah, it was good of a bad bunch, to be honest. But it was still good. Like
it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
but
but
that's
was it fine compared to what we were comparing
and that's
it to?
I felt like when my initial reaction to it was that it was
that was good.
It was better because it was surrounded by dog shit, and. Now I'm kind of just I'm beyond that as a thing, and I'm seeing it as its own movie, and my enjoyment has been watered down. I've watched it twice.
You've watched it twice,
but that was pretty close. Like I watched it at the cinema and then watched it as soon as it came out.
I'm talking about in 2-3 years.
No, I've
give
watched it.
Give it a watch in 2-3 years, then we'll know.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the best judge of a movie like that. 100%. I think. Yeah. Separate it from its.
But I'm all for
context.
this one, man. I'm a sucker for the 80s.
Oh man, who do you think you're talking to? Of course. I can't wait
song just
for that
did
stuff.
It for me, man. I needed some song. It was some new order in there. It was gold.
And so, how is Trevor back?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
What's the deal?
I'll be surprised there as much as you are, because it was quite it didn't explain anything, which I kind of liked. Said it before, but we've got Patty Jenkins back.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think we got Patty Jenkins back. Yeah, we do.
Yep.
That's about it. There's a few cooks in the kitchen as far as storyline is concerned.
Sure. Yep.
Which is as far as history goes, it's never worked well when there's a lot of cooks.
that can be a bit rough.
But as far as the action shots, it looks great. I'm in.
It does. There's some really nice action. I love her like hawk style armor.
Yeah.
The bird armor.
Yeah.
That looks
full
fantastic.
80s glam.
Yeah, it's super and I like that they're leaning into. I actually really like her costume in this. Like the colors of it are really vibrant, and it's really
and
classic.
I love that she's got like Wonder Woman fans would be so happy with that, because I know because it's a big thing. I read a lot of Justice League, so I got a lot of exposure to Wonder Woman. Her throwing that tiara at the camera and it bouncing like a boomerang and coming back around. Cool. That's a fanboy fucking awesome moment classic. Right there. And a lot of lasso. There's a lot of it in that trailer. That was great.
And it looks really good.
Yeah.
Like it's a great effect. It's holding up really nicely.
Yeah.
I'll see it. I'm just wary.
We're just wary.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been burned by you before, Warner Brothers. Exactly.
Etc. Whatever.
Fool
the rest
me once,
of that fucking
fool me
saying
twice.
Is.
And, no one's seen Justice League. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to watch it again, though. I think we should do it on this show, Tyson.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe it can be one of our first commentary episodes. Maybe we can do our drunk commentaries.
Fuck. Okay.
We'll do it while we watch Justice League.
Oh, dear. All right.
The one other thing I did want to talk about, just briefly, have you been following the news about the Snyder cut? Snyder's
cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's not going to happen.
Well, it's gathering a lot of steam at the moment.
But Warner Brothers have come out and said, "Yeah, look, no, it doesn't exist." And the amount of money that they would have to put forward to make it a cut.
Well, okay. So here's the thing: the last bit of information is Zack Snyder saying it's done. I have it. Here it is.
What?
And he has a picture of film reels. He's done it. So it's 3 and a bit hours long, apparently.
Sure.
And someone questioned him about it and said, "Oh, is this still like a first cut? You're going to cut it down more?" And he said, "No, the first cut was over 5 hours or something,
right?
Or 4 to 5 hours.
Sure.
So this is my cut.
Okay.
What's to stop him from just releasing it himself?
I believe that Warner Brothers would have a say, wouldn't
they?
Well,
I mean, yeah, sure.
They have a bit of a say in there. Other than that...
He could pay the fine, though.
What I read...
He's not poor.
No, he's not poor. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that... the last thing that I read on it was the fact that Warner Brothers came out and said, "We'd just like to let you guys know that this won't be happening because of the amount that we'd have to pay to make the effects."
I'm saying that I don't ever think it would be an official release.
Okay, you're saying that it'd be...
Well, because what about
special
fucking Topher Grace releases his supercuts of the Star Wars movies, and he's done one for the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies, I think.
Topher
Grace, as for fun, made a 2-hour cut of all the Star Wars prequels. made it into one movie so that the pace is just like...
It's the first I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, so there's no fucking around.
Right.
Like, so all the shit stuff's gone. It's
really
just...
don't
it's
like
100...
Grace.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
a weird
keep going.
unit.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's streamlined. It's
Okay.
all just about getting to, like, we're telling just the corruption
crux
of
story.
of
Okay.
Anakin.
Yep.
Here it is in a 2-hour movie.
Yep.
This is what you get. And you can just
Have
get
you
that
watched
online.
this?
No, fuck no. But you can just get that online, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
He would have to. Wow.
And no
he would
one's-
have to- He would have to have. You can't just release that. There'd be rights
no,
to that
people
shit.
do that. It's fan cuts and stuff. As long as you are not
Really?
making any money from it, I don't think
Right.
they can.
Right.
You can get like
Okay.
cease and desist, maybe, but I don't know.
Cease and desist.
There must be a
gone.
way because it's people.
Have you seen that special effects version of the end of New Hope? That lightsaber. Have you seen the rehash of that? I think I showed you. I think I posted it, didn't I?
yeah.
God, that's nice.
Yeah, it is
that's
nice.
a well done piece of fan art. God, that's nice.
Yeah. But so if Topher Grace can get away with something like this, Zack Snyder can
Topher
probably
Grace?
take his own movie, and I would think that
Yeah,
more
fair
people
deal.
could probably do this, but they just can't be fucked.
Yeah, good point. Well, wouldn't
I don't know.
if you were in Zack Snyder's position though, wouldn't you go, okay, cool. Clearly, that has run its course.
Yeah.
My superhero trail has run its course. I'm gonna go do something else because I'm telling you, 300 was fucking good. I liked 300.
It's real fun.
God, it's
Yeah.
good. And he did some really interesting and innovative things on those. Like I was looking at the makings of 300 in something, I forget what it was. And just having the camera close and far at the same time so he could do those fast tracking shots.
He said, look, he's
knows what he's
definitely
doing.
like pushes the envelope on technical achievements in film. Like he's figured out ways that you can do really cool stuff.
Yeah.
He keeps pushing the envelope. He's trying new things.
Yeah. You just need to rehearse a lot more. Get the dramatic part out of it.
I think
man.
that's
We need the
as far as a
storyline.
storyteller, I don't think he's super strong. I think he's more of an experienced film kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like
He's the new Michael Bay.
I would put him above Michael Bay.
Put him above Michael
definitely.
Bay.
Because even Michael Bay is kind of stuck in his own bloody time loop where he makes the same movie every time.
That's true.
So I'm intrigued. I think if this is picking up more steam,
Sure.
and
It's carrying a lot of steam.
yeah, and at one point Warner's going to have to realize that
they can make some cash.
they're going to make some coin out of this.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on.
Let's talk.
What was the other one?
Let's talk
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters: The Afterlife.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly, my mom won't say it, but we're completely broke. And the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere. Why'd you bring me up here?
Entertainment value?
What is that?
I don't know.
Somehow, a town that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no fault lines, no fracking, no loud music even, is shaking on a daily basis.
Under the dining table now! Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table?
I found this in my living room.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of what?
A ghost trap? There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s? It's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom. My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Call it fate. Call it luck. Call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Come on, darling.
It has a gunner seat?
good.
Tyson.
Yes, Nicholas.
Ghostbusters.
I really liked this trailer. I'm just going to go out and say it.
All right.
Really liked it.
Okay.
Great vibe. Felt really...
it's a nice throwback.
Yeah, and it's a nice way to take it.
It's a warm throwback.
It felt very warm. It felt Spielbergian to me.
It did.
And I just liked... I like this choice. I like the idea that we've moved it completely out of the city. Mm-hmm. It puts these characters that we love and are aware of and builds this mythos around them really effectively. Yeah. Like, they are legendary.
About ghosts as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, build some mythos. I'm a big fan of the very aware that it was a thing. Like, I did like how Paul Rudd was showing them, no, this was the 80s, man.
Yeah.
80s, there was ghosts everywhere for some reason.
And that's the best way to do it.
So good.
That at some point it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And, like, we look back at this time and go, hey, do you remember that time
when ghosts
were a thing? And there was, like, we had, like, the Ghostbusters. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
God
damn.
And I think this trailer sets all that up really well.
Yeah.
The only thing is I would have liked to have just kind of seen...
Go on.
I'm just worried that we're going to spend a whole movie in a farmyard. That's my only
I'm a little scared
thing.
as well, yeah.
So to put my mind at ease, I would have liked a little bit of city view.
Okay. Sure.
But of course, because if they do spend the whole movie in a farmyard, there is no city stuff to throw in there, so maybe they do spend the whole movie.
I think it might happen in just that town though, Tyson. I think that's what we're looking at here.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a little more Super 8.
It's a little
more Super 8 rather than
real
Ghostbusters,
JJ
but still.
Spielberg knockoff.
But yeah, this looks really good. What I don't want to happen though, I'm going to talk about it now. What I don't want to happen is for this to come out and for everyone to shit all over the all-female cast one, because that was okay.
It's already happened, man. I've got to tell you, the internet is a disgusting cesspool of the worst human beings.
There was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, don't go near the YouTube comment section. You'll be a worse person at the end of it.
It was a good movie, is all I'm saying.
It was fun.
It was a good movie.
Look, I can happily say that I enjoyed watching it at the time. I have not thought about it since, and I will never watch it again.
I will definitely watch it again.
Oh, there you go.
My Clark Kingsley is going to watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, nice one.
He's going to know, why are we watching this? Well, this is the first one and this is the second. We're going to watch that second one. Hell yeah, it's not that great, but still, it's awesome.
For sure.
We're going to watch all of them. But yeah, I do like this because this is giving... When something is rebooted, and this is a lot of talk, we were talking about this the other day at work, why are they making like live-action Disney movies of the classics that we know and love? Mm-hmm. The purpose behind them is to open it up to another audience. Now, a lot of people think, well, why aren't you just showing them the 84 Ghostbusters came out? Was it 84?
Yes.
Wasn't it? Yeah. 84 Ghostbusters and taking it from there. They're not going to relate to that. You need to show them something relevant. Plus, this is putting the Ghostbusters lore into hands of kids. Like, it's such a great move, I think.
Look, and kids, I see exactly where you're coming from, and I think the argument is that, kids, if kids aren't going to be, able to appreciate old school storytelling, then it's just not for them. But I'm kind of where you're at as well, where it's like you make a movie like this and hopefully because they become familiar with the characters and because they feel like it's their thing and they were around for it to come out, that maybe they will then go back and watch it.
And that's
as opposed to having to make it, as opposed to like what we were talking about before the show.
Yeah. Having
someone force them to sit down and watch this movie and them sit there with their arms crossed and be like, this is shit.
This is so lame.
I'm sick of you telling me what to fucking watch. Exactly.
My son sounds like a 40-year-old yelling at me.
Mate, you just wait. Terrible twos. This is what I hear.
Oh, it's already happened. Believe me.
Yeah, so this is I'm with you. I think it's the best way to do it. Yeah. And whether or not whether or not all these remakes and sequels and things, whether they're going to stand the test of time is not really for us to argue because it's not. It might not stand the test time for us, but it might for the next generation.
Exactly. It's not up to us.
Yeah. We've got ours.
Exactly.
Ours exist.
Yeah.
No one's going to take them away from you.
No.
We just now maybe someone else gets to have one as well. And then maybe go back. Like, think of all the movies that we've gone back to watch because, like, there's a familiarity for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, let's say we've watched an actor in something and they're older and they're awesome. And it might be the only exposure we had of them. And then we go back and see that they made a ton of movies in the 70s and it's like, oh, great. And we go and watch a few of those.
Exactly.
Might be the only reason we ever went back to watch that stuff. So why is that a bad thing?
Come on.
Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. Yeah. I know people think it's just kind of bankrupt, like, creatively, but I feel like, yeah, like, maybe the intentions are not as noble as could be to begin with, but I think at the end of the day, it's all
just fun.
It's all just good, man. We're all just trying to love movies.
Exactly. You know, no one's going to take your movies away.
No one's taking your movies away.
And the best thing is, like, go and enjoy that movie, the Ghostbusters Afterlife, at the cinema with your children, and then go, there's another movie called Ghostbusters out that came out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch that one? Yeah, sure. It's a hell of a lot scarier
Dan
than what
Aykroyd
you're
gets a
going to
blowjob
fucking
from
see. Exactly.
a ghost.
And it's a hell of a lot more adult. There are fucking scary dogs at the end of it.
Hey, it looks like the dogs are in this one too. Something lands on Paul Rudd's car.
What was that?
I think it was one of the dogs.
No, it looked like an alien hand.
I thought.
And I'm so
to me,
glad,
it felt like one of the dogs,
and
I was like, we're getting Zool again.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you got me to watch it again, because when they peeled around the corner in Ecto 1 and fired one of the proton packs, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. And then you see it, but a ghost is in the shot.
Yeah.
They're chasing a ghost. I didn't realise. So the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, these kids are just having fun with things that, aren't really toys. And then I saw there was a ghost in the shot. Yeah.
So where do we think we're going to see the members of the original team? Do you reckon they're going to team up at the end?
Well, you can't see Egon.
No, of course.
I think...
Egon is the grandfather that has died and
clearly,
left the house.
left everything in the house, yeah.
So this is Egon's granddaughter.
Yes.
I assume, like,
I'm guessing that's
the
where we're
main-ish character.
Everyone's in it, I believe, as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
And we have the voiceover from Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, yeah. Sigourney Weaver is in it. Dan Aykroyd is in it. And Ernie Hudson is in it.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, we're getting all of them back.
I kind of thought when I saw that girl, the one that was in the glasses, that appears to be Egon's granddaughter.
Yeah.
I thought as an actress she would make an excellent daughter to Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, really?
I saw her and went, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sigourney. Yeah.
But then I kind of did the math in my head and I was like, yeah, that's not going to work out.
I wonder if Oscar's going to... Was it Oscar? Was that the name of... Was Sigourney's kid in number 2? It was Oscar.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She already had a kid and he would be in his 30s.
Yeah.
So the math does not work out on that one.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for both of these movies.
What I find really interesting is that it doesn't in any way feel like a Ghostbusters movie.
No.
Which I think is an interesting choice.
It's a good choice, I think.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes.
It's going to be...
And whether or not they actually just have structured this trailer in a very specific way, and maybe it is a little bit more like a Ghostbusters movie, 100%. Or maybe it gets there. Mm-hmm. For all we know, all this footage we've seen might be the first half an hour.
Exactly.
And then it might become... a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, well.
Do you think from the look of this, do you think the kids are going to be the Ghostbusters? Do you think that's what happens?
Well, yeah, I get the feeling that yes, they will ultimately end up saving the day.
Next Ghostbusters.
But I think there's also a element of the old is going to come back and maybe help them out a bit, get them on their path.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Learning a few tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Anything with Bill Murray, we're in.
Well, yeah.
Bill Murray's
and I mean, Dan Aykroyd needs to work too. So
he does. I don't believe he does.
All that vodka money.
He has a side gig, doesn't he? He's in vodka,
palming off Skullhead vodka and spitting out conspiracy theories about aliens.
He's fine.
He's off the planet.
He does not need any money at all.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
Yeah,
it's expensive vodka. You're right. Is it any good? Had any Crystal Skull, whatever it's called?
I haven't. I don't.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull vodka.
No one's drinking that. Fuck off. Let's do that. Let's do a run of bad movie. Let's have a bad movie month. Let's do
bad movie month.
Let's have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Right.
Let's have Justice League in there.
Yep.
Audience, if you're listening, write in and tell us what we're going to do. We're going to do a bad movie month.
Let's do it early in the year.
Yep.
Get it out of the way with.
I think in June. No, actually, that's summer.
I'm thinking like March.
I'm thinking March.
I think we get our year review stuff all out of the way. Yeah, early Feb.
We finish the Oscars.
We do our Oscars special.
And then after that,
bad movie month.
Bad movie month.
I like it.
I like it.
We've got months sorted now. That leaves us only 9 months of a year to just talk normal shit.
Exactly.
Because we're booked up.
Fuck.
We're going to have a theme for every month.
A lot off.
I know.
We need to stop this.
Only 12 months in a year, Nicholas.
Tyson.
Yes, Nick.
Shall we jingle all the way?
If we must.
And now for our feature presentation.
Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the rock and roll jetpack, and the boomerang shooter.
Getting it is every child's dream.
Whoever doesn't can be a real loser.
Finding it.
You got the doll, right?
Is this father's nightmare.
I'll get that toy. I promise. Whoa! Nothing like waiting until the last minute, Howard, sir.
Especially on Christmas Eve.
Turbo Man, you're mine!
They're all gone.
These two are looking for a Turbo Man!
Where's your Christmas spirit?
The last one just left.
Now, it's two fathers.
This is war.
One mission.
Oh, poor baby.
And every man for himself.
I'm thinking maybe, we could join up as a team. Like Starsky and Hutch. We're in late delivery of Turbo Man. That toy works. Let's go.
Is there a problem, officer?
You can never do too much to make a child's Christmas magical.
Hey, buddy.
From the director of Mrs. Doubtfire.
You want a Turbo Man for Christmas? Forget it. I'm not going to sit in your lap.
Tony, show him.
That was taken this morning.
And from the director of The Flintstones.
Don't open that up. No.
Of course, there's some assembly required. You know what you guys are? Nothing but a bunch of sleazy con men in red suits.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sinbad.
I work for the post office and I'm unstable. Tell him.
This man is totally insane.
Thank you.
Christmas comes but once a year.
Jingle All the Way.
You picked the wrong day.
Nick.
Tyson, we decided, as a collective, to pick Jingle All the Way to watch for our movie podcast.
I don't know what we were thinking, really. Was it entirely just because it was Arnold and we were just like, well, we love Schwarzenegger. I'm sure that, and we probably thought there'd be plenty to talk about because it's got such a reputation.
Does it?
Of being pretty awful.
A bland piece of fucking cheese?
Well, okay, so Nick, let's talk about context because I think it's important for a movie like this.
Yep.
You've said before that you watched this a lot.
I did.
Around the time it came out.
Quite a bit for some reason. I remember watching it a bit. I remember a lot of...
So it was a home video staple, would you say?
Oh, Jesus. It wasn't recorded off the TV. I think I was at the video store at the time. Was I? I don't remember.
Sure.
I think I was hiring it, Tyson.
Well, because it came out in 96. We were actually maybe a little bit old for this.
Yeah,
I think we were kind of in that awkward spot.
Kids movie.
It's a really then there's also everyone's punching darts and
what the fuck?
People are like getting in fights with Sanders and punching reindeer and
that elf is questionable as hell. He's selling shit on the side.
Yeah. Look, it's a kids movie, but
with
it's
adult content. Yeah.
I think it's meant to be that like it can be enjoyed by everyone, but it's in this very particular time of our movie going lives where. Now, if you look at it, I don't think I would show this to a child now.
No.
Because there's not really anything in it that I want them learning from it.
Exactly. 100%. Like at the midway through, I was like, what is the moral of the story here? What are we... Because the father and son, like Arnie and his son, are fighting all the way through this movie up until the end.
Yeah.
What are we? Yeah, all for a piece of a toy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not.
And this is the, so...
it's consumerism at its best.
It is. This movie kind of, glorifies consumerism, but also does that weird thing, and look, we're reading a lot into fucking Jingle All the Way here, people, but it does that weird thing where, so Arnie is presented as not a terrible father by any stretch.
Yeah.
He's just maybe...
He's a very hardworking father.
He's an extremely hardworking father. And look, I'll be the first to say it.
Sure.
My dad was a very hardworking guy.
Yep.
And it was not like this. Like, you know, this is obviously presented at a very extreme level for the sake of storytelling.
Sure.
But, you know, it would be late in the night not late in the night, but there would be plenty of nights where Dad's dinner would go uneaten until he got home a few hours after we ate. And that would not be out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And he would be gone before I'd get up for school.
Sure.
That was just, and, you know, that's not.
It was the norm.
It was the norm. It wasn't questioned because he was doing what he needed to do in order to maintain a house over our heads and all that kind of stuff. And there were the occasional things that he missed, and I don't hold a grudge against him for that whatsoever.
100%.
So this movie is doing the thing where it's the dad is too consumed, and it's really important.
Missing out on a lot of things.
He's missing out on the you know, his son growing up, and I get where they're coming from, but it doesn't really have any sympathy. Doesn't meet it in the middle
at all.
But it also posits that the way to then make it up to your son is by giving him an empty gift, like a material possession, that's going to make everything right.
Okay, yeah.
And even at the end, it doesn't really, like, he gives the doll away, but only because this movie went off the fucking rails in the last 20 minutes that we got
really off the rails.
Oh God!
What the fuck am I watching? What is this shit?
But
only
because it got so wild that some of the plot contrivances that end up happening, that the kid was like, "Oh well, I don't need the doll anymore."
Yeah, because of that awesome moment.
Not because he's actually realised that, you know, him and his dad have a good relationship, and it's just, you know, I will appreciate that he's working hard to make sure my life isn't shit, and he will try his best to be around more to see me grow up.
Yeah. He doesn't see that. He doesn't see the fact that
he thinks his dad's a superhero now.
Exactly.
This kid's fucked for life.
Life. Dad's going to get punched. He's going, Dad, what didn't you do anything?
Yeah, seriously. What are you doing then?
Come on.
Loser?
His dad is Arnie, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, that's enough serious talk about Jingle All the Way. That's why, ethically, this movie is no good.
Sure. Yeah, he didn't, at the end, he didn't see how hard his dad was working to get the toy that he wanted.
No, because he didn't
saw
realise
any of that.
He didn't see any of that.
No.
He was just, Anyway. So then, like I said, enough serious talk about Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
So this was, I feel like it was in that awkward spot for us where we were just a little bit too old to appreciate it as a kid's film.
Yeah.
And obviously we weren't old enough to have kids of our own that we would take to see it.
Exactly.
So
which we wouldn't anyway.
I remember thinking that I was too cool for Jingle All the Way. Like, it was not for me because it was too kiddie.
Okay.
And so I've seen it once before this rewatch the other day.
Okay, sure.
Saw it once in 1996/97.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I really paid much attention to it. I think it was on, and it was kind of just like, let's see what this is like. I might not have even got to the end because, to be honest, holy shit, like that ending, I was like, is this for real? Like, I don't remember any of that.
Oh,
and
really?
I was like, I would have remembered this if I had seen this.
The only bits that I remember was creepy Phil Hartman, because me and my brother used to pick the shit out of him.
Yep.
We always used to say, do you want some non-alcoholic eggnog? Which was that part of the fucking, I don't know why me and my brother said that. Anyway, the bit with the ball, it's a bit in the middle where Arnie's chasing after a ball, and then the end where he turns into a superhero and flies around, and it's just fucking shit. It's just, you're like, what am I watching? What's
wild.
Going on? Yeah.
It gets to a point where you're looking around the house like, does the world know that this movie exists? Because this movie is fucking wild.
It's horrible. It's so horrible.
So horrible.
But yeah, the reason, we spoke about it before off air, the reason that we weren't watching this, Tyson, a whole bunch, even though for some reason I did, I don't know. I think I watched that a couple of times. I think it's just a bit memorable. Is that Eraser came out the same year.
Yeah.
And we'd rather watch Eraser.
I saw Eraser in the cinema.
Yeah.
Was all about it.
So good.
He shoots an alligator.
John Kruger. What a rad name.
What a great name.
Yeah. He's so good.
Vanessa Williams.
Yeah. And who else was in it? There was something else. Who was the bad guy in that? This is what I knew was going to happen. We're just going to end up talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that aren't Jingle All the Way.
The bad guy in Eraser. It's James Caan.
James Caan. Is it really?
Yeah.
And the guns that can X-ray through buildings and shit.
Yeah,
it was James Caan.
Eraser is a fun movie.
It is.
Also, I haven't seen that.
Oh, really?
In 10 years at least.
I think I own that. Do I own that?
Nice.
Can you look behind me?
My eyeballs can barely read any DVD that's on that shelf right now.
I don't.
My old man
I don't
eyeballs.
own it.
We'll have to remedy that.
I own End of Days, though.
Do you know what? Because there's probably no good version of Eraser. There's that crappy DVD that was one of the first ever DVDs that went down to $6.98 at JB Hi-Fi. That run
100%.
of Warner DVDs from like the first time a DVD player was invented.
Yeah. So have you seen the Eraser menu screen? Of course you haven't. Why would you have?
No, I haven't.
My first note after watching 20 minutes of this, I know because I time stamped it.
Oh, yeah.
Was, were there any good movies in the 90s? What the fuck is this?
It's like I've forgotten about the existence of good movies.
Was there anything good? Did anything good happen in the 90s?
Nothing could possibly good exist if this exists.
If this exists, fuck, what were we watching?
My first note is less the world is ending.
Sure.
But this
What is your first
note? Well, okay, so my notes ended up being a lot of things just along the line of this movie. I don't buy this movie for a second.
Sure.
And I don't hate the premise. I think if you walked in a room and pitched this as a kid's Christmas movie, it's actually not bad. It's pretty clever. I think I think the problem is the guy that said, and let's get Arnold Schwarzenegger to do it. I think that guy should have got fired.
Okay.
And
you'd rather a John Lithgow?
This movie with John Lithgow is suddenly possibly the greatest movie of all time. Could you imagine the end 20 minutes with John Lithgow?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be great.
96 John Lithgow too.
96. Yeah. Prime John Lithgow.
Prime.
Yeah. Tell me that's not a good movie.
That is such a great choice. I'm so glad you said that out loud. That is... I'm suddenly remembering... I'm just remembering him basically in Third Rock from the Sun mode.
Yeah.
Trying to find... Oh my God, what a great movie.
Anytime I think of John Lithgow is the... For some reason, it's the Twilight Zone movie. And it's it's the scene, everyone knows it. It's the passenger who thinks that there's something on the wing.
Yeah. There's like a goblin thing.
Yeah, it's a goblin. Yeah. God, let's do that as well. The Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, we have to talk about that guy that died.
Oh, yeah, we can't talk about that. No, but hey, we can still look at the movie.
Yeah.
No?
Oh, look,
can't?
Yeah. I'd like to...
Do you know how many people died on Waterworld?
Really? 3 people died in the making of Waterworld.
3 stuntmen.
That's not worth it.
Let's do Waterworld.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Oh, yes. Up and coming next year.
We'll definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do Waterworld.
Let's do a K-Cost month.
We're not doing a K-Cost.
Come on. We're booking a bad movie month. I want to talk about fucking Kevin Costner month.
No, because I like my top 10s. Anyway.
What are we talking about? What are
we talking about?
No, there's... My point is, if done correctly, with some believability and some relatability and maybe some just a little bit sharper storytelling, this is not necessarily a bad movie. I think the premise holds up.
Okay.
Because think of the premise of like Christmas movies, kids' Christmas movies.
But it just goes off on tangents.
They didn't figure it out. They didn't figure it out at all.
Right.
I feel like this movie goes for like 4 hours.
Okay.
Because
it does.
About 40 minutes in, I was checking.
Yeah.
They were already at a point where they had exhausted the concept.
Yeah, 100%.
Him and Sinbad, who for fuck's sake.
Why have you mentioned Sinbad? Yeah. Sinbad, man, he was a thing of the 90s.
I heard he was bad in this movie.
Oh, really?
I couldn't even tell you how how well he met that title and
met that
more
mark.
so.
Yeah, right.
Like from his first bullshit rant while he's in the line about
horrible,
the post office.
That was hard to listen to.
Oh my, and it kept going and going. And there's a moment where Arnold Schwarzenegger just kind of rolls his eyes and I'm like, he's everybody right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Here's the audience.
Watching it.
Here's the audience at home right now.
But
We're
the
all
thing
like,
is, like, when I saw that scene, I was like, when it got to a point, I was like, was this meant to be funny? Like, how was this meant to be funny?
It's a question I asked multiple times while watching this movie. Was this meant to be a funny moment?
Yeah. So from Sinbad doing that little spiel, he doesn't get it. They don't team up, which would have been better for the film had they did team up. He ends up having a nemesis. They kind of it's a spy versus spy type deal where they try and one up each other every time they hear about where the toy is being sold. Yeah. But the thing is, after that, it goes into a segment of is it Jim Belushi?
Jim Belushi.
As Santa?
My note was, of course, Jim Belushi's in this movie.
And then that section with the Santa,
his greasy
and
mitts
then
on
a
all
little
the shit
bit with
movies.
the ball, and then we're at the end. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No, but that's the thing. You feel like that's the end, but that's the 45, 50-minute mark.
Oh, the middle part is
and
when
then
he tries
all of a sudden...
what happens in that? What happens after that?
You just got this, like...
He tries to steal
Well, it keeps going. It just keeps going with more stupid shit. Like, there's the radio station part. There's
that's right.
There's all of a sudden it becomes a fucking like a bomb goes off.
Oh,
and I'm like, what am I watching? Then we get more of the Phil Hartman stuff. We get
that's right. He tries to steal it from his bed, and he ends up lighting his house on fire.
Yeah, well, even before that, we get all this unnecessary Phil Hartman stuff. And I love Phil Hartman.
God,
He's great, comedic genius.
I've never liked Phil Hartman.
Oh, Lionel Hart's Attorney at Law.
Yeah, pass. It's a full pass.
Oh, that's so strange.
Yeah, sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
May he burn. No, I'm kidding.
Oh. He's garbage in this.
He is a sex pest. He's a
legit sex pest. But
he needs to be.
Also, the divorcee women in this town need to get some magazines or something because they are all over him, and I'm like, why? It's Phil Hartman.
I love it. It's Phil Hartman. It's so good.
And he's not even charming. And they're all like, can you come over and fix my pipes?
It's not attractive. It's not as if it's Antonio Banderas.
I know, exactly.
Like, come on.
So, yes, he's a sex pest, but he's got an inflated sense of...
full sex pest.
Yeah, but he's got this inflated sense of self-esteem because all the divorcee women are chasing him down. He thinks he's God's gift.
He needs to be registered. That's how
he
bad
does need to be
was.
registered. He needs a talking to. He needs a legit talking to, and he needs a dressing down.
Punch.
Like, hardcore. Like, hey, man, you're not... You got nothing going for you. You're a real weird unit.
Exactly. You sons of fucking little shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my god. So just going on that. After what we've talked about,
why are we talking about that?
No. My next. It's from this. So my next note was Tyson.
Yes.
It says Tyson.
It says Tyson?
It says Tyson. How much money do you think a writer for this would get? How much money do you think they would pay? And second follow-up question, I'd like these in concession. Do you think this writer put this on his CV?
I think this is a concept movie that would have got somebody quite a bit of money.
Okay.
I think that, like I was saying, I think that initial pitch, I'm standing by the idea that people were in a room thinking that they had an absolute hit on their hands.
Okay, they had the next Home Alone. Yeah, is what you're saying.
I reckon they thought, and I think that person that pitched that, the original story by, probably got paid a lot of money. Then,
do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger was in that pitch?
That's hard to say. I mean, I'm sure there's information. I could just fucking do some research.
No, I want to hear what you
talk about this.
Think. I want to hear what you have to think.
IMDb. Stop signing me out of IMDb.
Don't tell people your admin shit. That's gold.
I hate when they sign me out of it, though.
Why does that happen to you? That never happens to me.
When the app updates, I get signed out of it.
Do you really? That never happens to me.
And I never remember what fucking password it was.
Did you hear how high my voice went then? No, that happened to me.
Hang on, sorry. I've just got to get this sorted. So.
Eraser. Who directed Eraser?
Chuck Russell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
The Blob.
Nice.
The Blob.
How good was Eraser? No, I'm kidding. I don't remember shit.
I assume it was good. I also have no memory of it.
Chuck Russell of probably it's very neck and neck.
Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's neck and neck between the original and Dream Warriors. What happened? Where is Chuck Russell now?
It's a good point. Is he alive?
Did he die? The last thing he did was the last thing he did was Scorpion King. Oh, well, that's where he went.
I like Scorpion King.
And this is where
it's super watchable.
Tys and Videotape ended.
It really is. It's super watchable.
It's not.
Oh my God, this is written by one guy.
It's garbage.
Oh my God.
Really?
Okay, so I take it all back. Randy Cornfield.
Well, he's
God.
He's clearly fucking fired. Randy Cornfield.
That's not real.
That can't be a real name. Randy Cornfield. Does anyone?
No, not Cornfield. Cornfield. Randy Cornfield.
You're Randy in a cornfield. Is that what you're saying?
And he has written. Oh God, this is.
What else has he written? Oh, please.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Give me his. Actually, that was quite funny.
And some TV movies.
My favourite bit of Eight-Legged Freaks was, I can't believe I remember this. The only bit let me rephrase. The only bit I remember of Eight-Legged Freaks was when the massive tarantula came over the house. It was big. And in the score, they very subtly put ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba, ba-ba,
yeah, right.
ba-bum, ba-ba. And I thought that right there,
clever.
That was very well done.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So... I take it all back. So this guy that wrote this, one guy.
Right.
One guy wrote it, pitched it. I think he got paid a bit of money.
You think he got paid a bit of money?
I reckon.
And he puts this on his CV, does he?
Oh, yeah.
Would you?
It's all he's got on his CV.
Clearly, right.
And Eight-Legged Freaks. So
that man now works in a clerk's shoe store.
This is clearly some guy who...
You think that's a pseudonym?
It's like...
Really?
it's Thomas Keneally or some shit, and this is the movies that he's like, or the material he's really ashamed of, and he's like, Randy Cornfield. There we go.
That has to happen. That totally has to happen.
That's Alan Smithy, man. An Alan Smithy film. Every time a director is like, no. I did not direct that movie. No, that wasn't me.
No, that was
Alan Smithy.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a movie called an Alan Smithy movie,
really?
Which was a kind of like a Hollywood piss take movie. It had like Eric Idle and stuff in it, and the guy that directed it ended up taking his name off it. So the Alan Smithy film is directed by Alan Smithy, which is pretty amazing.
He took his name off.
Took his name off because it was so shit.
Of course.
I love it. Anyway, Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
So here are some things that I liked about Jingle All the Way.
Here we go.
I liked when celebrities that I am endeared to would turn up.
Sure.
So Chris Parnell,
such as
Yardley
Chris
Smith.
Parnell, yes, Yardley Smith.
Just little character roles here and there.
Nice.
Where I was like, that's cool to see them.
Oh, Chris Parnell.
They're pretty young.
Cyril.
Well, I mean, Yardley Smith is obviously
Figures.
pretty decent into Simpsons at this point.
Yeah.
But I always love seeing Yardley Smith on screen because obviously you hear her voice and you'd have to be deaf to not instantly go,
it's her voice.
Oh my God, it's Lisa Simpson.
Yeah. Nancy Cartwright puts on the voice of Bart.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
But still, I think she's such an interesting actress. Like she's got a really strange like physical presence. She's kind of little.
She does physical comedy well.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So it was really good to see her and young Chris Parnell. So it was nice. Just every now and then, little glimpses here and there.
It was lovely.
I liked the hilarious parade announcers.
Yes, that's the only bit that I liked. I was like, they are gold.
And
why aren't they in this whole movie?
I'm pretty sure the guy is the lawyer that is in Seinfeld.
Oh, really?
Who's based off the lawyer that got off O.J. Simpson. I think it's the same actor.
That's hilarious. Let me look that up.
Yes, I liked the two of them, but they had really funny dialogue, and it would come out of nowhere. They were leaning into being like ridiculously over the top in that morning television way, and it just lended itself to very funny little interchanges about because obviously what was happening was completely bonkers.
Yes.
And they were just completely playing it straight, and I loved it.
And it was gold. It worked. It worked very well.
It's nice that there's a moment that works in this movie.
Oh no. Oh, good.
I liked it when Sinbad punched the box and said, what does he say? Move, box.
That was hysterical. He was running down the parade. There was a man dressed as a box, to put it into perspective. As a present, he goes, "Move, box!"
And just fucking
pushes
him
out of the way. I did laugh at that as well.
I actually laughed out loud, and I was like, I was ashamed of myself. I laughed out loud in this movie.
Don't be ashamed.
What else?
That was it, man. I'm telling you.
That's it. They're my only good things.
That's your only good
No, and I also like that. So this movie is obviously trying to cash in on Home Alone because it does.
No.
Parts of it.
It does. It's a little more planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh yes,
I felt
because
the stress is there.
Yeah, no,
right?
I definitely see that.
The day that I was happy to show my wife Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was a very big deal for me. I love that movie.
It's fucking amazing.
It's an amazing film. She hated it because she actually suffers from anxiety.
Sure.
And didn't like the ride at all.
Yeah, I'd say that's a lot of Steve Martin movies. If you're not comfortable with that
anxiety,
kind of awkward, stressful anxiety comedy,
you're not going to like it.
You're not going to like 100%. A lot of Steve Martin movies.
So I asked her about Jingle All the Way. She said she saw it at the cinema and also didn't like it because of the anxiety.
Sure.
So I think it's a play they tried to do. It's a poor man's Planes, Trains with Arnie and Sinbad. You know, a full thumbs up for that one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a downgrade. Oh well, Arnie's Arnie, but
Arnie's Arnie. But here's a question. Let's put this question out there.
Yep.
Because this needs to be answered. He's done a few comedy films. Our man Arnold Schwarzenegger Tyson. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger good at comedy?
I had this conversation.
Oh, here we go.
While watching towards the end of this movie with Rachel, because he is not good in this movie.
No, he's not.
And Rachel made the assumption that Arnold Schwarzenegger is no good at comedy. And I came back and said, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think he's exceptional when used the right way.
Okay.
And only certain people have known how to use him.
Okay.
Ivan Reitman knows exactly how to use Arnold Schwarzenegger in a comedy.
Sure.
Because in Twins, he's fucking hilarious. In Kindergarten Cop, he's hilarious. If you understand how he can...
His parameters, basically.
Well, how his presence can lend itself to comedy...
Yeah.
he can be used really, really effectively. In this, though, it doesn't make any difference that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
And that's a problem. It could be anybody in this movie, except the only real kind of throwaway we get is Phil Hartman telling him to go do more push-ups or whatever he says, bench presses.
So in that scene where because I totally forgot that whatever happened in the scene where he's about to brawl on with all the Santas after Jim Belushi, I thought, decent. This is going to be he's just going to take all these guys out. This is going to be rad.
Yeah,
no, didn't happen. I was like, you realize Arnold Schwarzenegger could take all of you on at the same time.
Well, it depends which Arnold Schwarzenegger we're getting. Are we getting Commander? Yeah, then yes.
We're getting 6 Day.
6 Day? Maybe not.
So used well, he can pull off some comedy.
Absolutely.
All right.
I don't doubt it for a second.
Okay.
But just in the right circumstances. I feel like Twins is a bit of an underrated movie.
Twins is great.
Because I think it's one of those movies that people forget about when they go back into the really great 80s comedies. I think it's up there for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think my favourite parts of comedy... My favourite movie with comedy in it that also has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it is Last Action Hero.
Yeah, sure. And there's elements of comedy of that. And he plays well into his persona in that. But he's not required to be funny in that, though, as much.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He just allows his own persona to sell that. It's been years since Kindergarten Cop and
Twins. What else is there? Is there anything else?
No.
I'm never going to watch Around the World in 8 Days.
Oh, no. See, and that I feel like that's him using him badly as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so in this circumstance...
Batman and Robin. We forgot.
I mean, that's hilarious.
I'm kidding.
So, yeah, I think this movie would be better without Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Okay.
Which is a shame because there's not many movies that I would say that about because I think...
that is a shame.
But really, somebody with better... I can't believe I'm saying this, but this movie would work better with an Adam Sandler type, I think.
Okay.
A bit more... Do you know what...
Adam Sandler
who's perfect? Steve Martin is perfect in this movie.
Steve Martin is perfect.
That's the perfect choice.
It is.
No, John Lithgow is the perfect choice.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say.
I want to see that movie so bad.
John Lithgow.
In
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way with John Lithgow.
Oh my God.
You're telling me it doesn't sell? It sells.
It makes me so happy to think that in a parallel universe that movie exists.
It would.
Yeah.
No one's going to Chevy Chase in National Lampoons anymore for Christmas movies. They're going to Jingle All the Way with John Lithgow.
Oh my God. The best. You don't need to change anything else about this movie. Just someone else instead of Sinbad.
Yeah.
And don't make him such a weirdo. Why is he such a weirdo?
It's full on, man.
Okay,
why does he keep rocking up? When he was in the diner, the fact that he was in that diner, I'm like, this is not a small town, okay? We're in quite a big town.
No, it does not appear so.
So when he rocked up at the diner, I was like, ooh, is Sinbad actually... Does he not exist? Is he like a...
Oh, we're getting real intense.
Is he like a... Oh, he's kind of...
Figment of his imagination.
Conscience.
Oh. Getting real serious.
Is he, playing on his conscience, you're not that great a dad, you're going to end up drinking, da-da-da-da. And then I just, made myself a cup of tea and forget that.
Then I realised I was talking smack and...
talking absolute shite.
Changed my mind about everything.
100%.
So, it's a shame. I like Rita Wilson a lot. It's a shame.
I like Rita Wilson a lot.
I feel like she's kind of
I
underused.
think her and Tom Hanks are like the perfect couple.
Yeah, they're great.
They really are.
She's... At least she gets to beat the shit out of Phil Hartman.
She does.
At one point.
She hits him
and she's
hard in the face.
really good with the thermos. It's great. That's another thing. Like, this movie is not made for kids because that whole conversation in the car is so inappropriate.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Anyway, so I feel like it's a shame. She deserves a better movie than this.
She does. She does indeed.
But as for Jim Belushi, you can stay in this movie because that's where you belong.
You belong in this movie and in the bit part that you're in too.
As the shitty mall Santa.
Exactly. A shitty mall Santa.
So
I need to know where this presenter is. I've still looked it up. I can't find it.
Oh, I might have been wrong. It just kind of looked like him.
I can't find the
And I thought the timing would match up relatively well.
Yeah. No. Come on, where are you? How good are parades like that though? Like, we never had that. Why don't we have massive parades? See, the town is huge because the parade was massive. They had floats. They had announcers. It was very decent.
I found his name.
Okay, and?
I'm not sure if it's the same guy. His name's Phil Morris.
Okay.
And I need to get to the 90s.
No, you just look in his. I doubt that it's there though. I love that everyone. I love that you and Adam from Real Chat rated this too highly. You've both given it 1.5 stars.
So
what's the half for, Tyson? I gave it half a fucking star.
I saw half a star. That's intense.
Yeah. Can go fuck itself.
Because I gave it.
It's Arnie, isn't it?
Yeah. No, because I think Arnie's.
Go on.
It is him. Jackie Charles.
Is it
from Seinfeld?
That's old.
I was so overwhelmed by the madness of the last half an hour that I was like, you know what?
Got too excited.
There is definitely an entertainment value in this finale because it is so ridiculous.
It's a full fucking pass from
So
me.
there's nothing else worth talking about in the beginning stuff. Oh, the only other thing I'll say, I like that they used the bit of music that I think I always sing this piece of music when I think I'm singing the Home Alone music. Which is I feel like I'm singing the Home Alone music, but it's not.
No, it's not.
It's a classical piece of music, but they use it in this, and so it's like I associate it with Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I was very glad to hear that because I was like, oh yeah, great, excellent. Yeah, what else? So let's talk. There's nothing else we're talking about.
I've got nothing.
The actual crux of this movie. Let's just get to the ending.
Yep. What have you got?
Well, because it's ridiculous. I just could not believe what was happening. Right? For one, we get the dumbest thing in the world where it's like, are you the guy? Oh, quick, come with us. It's like, it's those things where it's like Arnie has to sit there going, and all it takes is one person to go, no, just stop. You've got, I don't know, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not the guy.
I'm not the guy. You're clearly not after me. Why are you taking my clothes off? Why am I in my underwear now?
Any time in a movie, if 1 to 2 words could stop the plot from continuing on,
shouldn't have it.
It's not a good enough.
No,
it's not a good enough choice.
Exactly.
And that I hate it when this happens. So watching this happen, I was just kind of like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was so shit.
And then he's there in the Turbo Man costume, and I'm like, all right, well, this is not where I thought this movie would end up.
Turbo Man, by the way.
Turbo Man is great.
They tried to sell the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The footage of Turbo Man.
Yeah, you like that?
I like it. It feels really 90s, like Power Rangers cartoon. It's cool. They did a really good job on that, I think.
And I love how everyone hated the sidekick Booster. Yeah. Like, literally everyone hated it.
Just fucking fuck Booster, man.
Booster.
Like,
and the crowd starts beating him up. I'm like, Jesus, people.
Because it's like, I love that it's like you've got this Turbo Man, which is a real typical just superhero kind of spacey superhero. But the sidekick Booster is such a fucking, like, what are you doing in this show? You're a pink tiger kind of walrus
werewolf
thing
with a jetpack on your back. And
it's just kind of there. And so I love that everyone's just like, yeah, fuck Booster.
It's a weird pink as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so this happens.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it goes really off the rails. Sinbad steals the arch villain's costume.
Which, fuck off.
We have a full fight with two grown men in costumes.
We do.
Pretending to be a superhero and a supervillain.
Yeah.
We have a legit, like, child in danger.
We do.
And everyone's still treating this like it's a fucking comedy.
Okay. Exactly.
I love that one moment where, like, the cop's like, no, it's fine. It's all part of the thing. And it's like, no, he doesn't know he's in the show, you idiot.
Yeah.
So there's so many. I'm overwhelmed by this ending.
There's a lot of midget fighting as well.
All the people.
Midgets?
Let's say little people. Yeah.
A lot of that fighting as well. Yeah. I don't think that's okay.
No. It usually isn't because it always feels exploitive.
And a lot of the audience is watching all of this happen.
There's a toss a little person at some point, isn't there? Like a good old school, just like on a rope, a little person goes flying into a wall.
Exactly.
Sorry, mate, who's this movie from?
And then at the end of it, we get like a jetpack scene, like that is a C-grade rocketeer.
It's fucking Condor Man levels.
It's
like
horrible.
He's flying around the city.
I have a question. Like he's flying around the city trying to get control of his jetpack. It's to show off the jetpack and the flying. And wouldn't it be great if we all had jetpacks? And then he flies through a building past an African American family who's just eating their dinner.
Just chilling out, man. Trying to have their fucking Christmas dinner.
Just through the other thing.
Jesus.
And the one line that the daughter has of this family is like, wow. And that's it. I'm like, what was the point of that scene? Why did you put that in? And why did they have to be African American? Like, what does that have any relevance? What's going on? It was weird. It was weird.
None others in this movie. Sinbad? Where's Sinbad?
It was a very white film, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
Yeah.
Wholesome white families.
Wholesome white families.
Punching reindeers.
No one likes them. They're all burbs. They're all going to be bred out. Sorry, what?
So here are the things that I want to talk about. So the whole final parade thing is just the worst idea in the world. The fact that this movie ends this way is terrible. Yeah. Just terrible.
And as if you're not going to know that that's your dad. Like, I'm a big...
You've got to be kidding me. It's not like he's in a mask. It's a fucking glass visor.
And he speaks. You can tell that that's your dad's voice because he has a thick Austrian accent.
They said it's like, we've got a voice modulator on you.
Yeah.
And he talks, and I'm like...
That doesn't sound like
shit.
shit.
Fucking sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger to me. Yeah. You're not covering that shit up.
Exactly.
But he's just got this yellow visor on.
I know. It's cellophane.
And there's two things. So in this parade,
sure,
right? I understand kids getting excited about Turbo Man and all this shit. Adults are legit losing their minds. Like, there are adults in that audience who are like, "It's fucking Turbo Man!"
I know, it really is.
And clapping and yelling. I'm like, come on,
this town is.
This town
needs to be bombed.
Yeah, maybe this. Yeah.
No,
this is like a Tim Burton-esque town where everyone's really just a little bit kooky and weird.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's already kind of weird to me because the whole vibe is like based around this parade being the biggest fucking deal in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care who you are. If you are a parent there, you're going, yay! Look, kids, it's Turbo Man. These people are like Beatlemaniaing out over this shit. It's ridiculous. Then
it's very weird.
Like, he picks his son. Out of the audience. He's like, wow, he knows my name. He's about to tell him because I'm your father.
Yep.
And I'm like, can you imagine?
Throwback to
Star Wars. Could you imagine the psychological damage you would have done to that kid if he thought Turbo Man was his dad? Because you'd go back later and go, no, Jake from Star Wars. Jakey Lloyd. Where are you now, buddy?
He's ripped. I'm telling you.
Is he? Has he gone into MMA fighting?
MMA fighting.
Like fucking Lipinky or whatever? Lipnicki?
God.
Can you imagine? Like,
Lipnicki, sorry, just sidebar. Lipnicki, dude, just sit on the sidelines. You've got a ton of money from Big Bang. Just sit there, okay? Is that him, John Lipnicki?
No.
Am I thinking of the wrong person?
No, I think I said the wrong name.
Oh, okay.
What's the kid's name from Jerry Maguire?
Oh, yeah.
He's
Lipnicki.
That's him. He's gone full MMA fighter.
He has, yeah.
Who are you thinking of? Yeah, Jonathan Lipnicki.
I was thinking of what's the main dude in Big Bang? Not Bazinga, the other guy. I don't watch
From
it,
Roseanne.
and I never fucking will. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Galecki, Johnny Galecki.
Yeah, I was close.
Lipinky and Galecki.
I was close. Yeah.
So, because you'd go home and you'd go, no, it was actually me in the suit. He's like, the kid would be like, no. I hate you because you haven't been coming to my karate classes, and I just found out Turbo Man is actually my dad.
My real dad.
So you can fuck off.
So you can go get stuffed.
He's ruined it for everybody, basically.
Fuck you.
Just to prove how much I hate you.
You're not even my real dad.
Look at this. It's meth.
You're not even my real dad. Go get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be messed up. And especially if he said, Jamie, I'm your dad, because he's mic'd as well. Jamie, I'm your dad. The audience would turn on both of them. This whole thing is rigged.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Why did you pick that kid?
Why'd you pick that kid? That's your son.
Pick your son. That's not cool, man.
You're the actor that's trying to come out here and help us out. This is rigged. Riot. And then all of a sudden,
what a fucking long con that would have been.
LA 1992
so listen,
starts
son,
happening again.
I'm going to get you a Turbo Man. Okay,
Yeah.
this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to train to be a stuntman.
I'm going to go in.
I'm going to go and rehearse.
Exactly.
And I'm going to audition for the gig. And fingers crossed I get it.
We'll get it.
Then when we get up on the float, you better be there because I'll pick you out.
And
how long is this going to take, Dad? About 8 months.
Look,
long con.
It's a long con. And I love how you have to be in a certain position because the float stops and then he goes, Jamie! And I'm like, what about all the kids behind him who are like, oh, well, Mum, thanks for this position because Turbo Man can't even see me, so I'm clearly not going to get one.
No, it's the kids' fault because it would have been like, oh, let's get to the front of the line. And then they would have been like, you fucked it.
Yeah, good point.
Because you were too eager.
Good point.
They're rewarding the kids that were patient. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie. So then he starts flying around and shit. And
oh, God.
we get to, he's having legit conversations to his wife and son.
Yep.
Standing a meter away from them.
Uh-huh.
And they are like, thanks, Turbo Man. And I'm like, are you fucking blind? You have got to be kidding me.
Because
it's not like a dark visor or something.
No.
Like, at least make the visor black.
Yeah.
So that you can just see his mouth.
Yeah. 100%.
Or something.
Yeah. Go full RoboCop.
Because it just looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It doesn't even look like half not like him. It's not Clark Kent style with even the glasses. It's just him.
I know.
Wearing like a bloody ski mask.
But if they can believe Superman, Tyson, I'm sure they can believe Turbo Man.
But that was all about his... I will always stand by the Superman Clark Kent thing because it had nothing to do with his looks. It was that he was so unassuming as Clark Kent that no one would ever suspect it and think to put two and two together.
Exactly. I'm going to eBay. I'm going to search on eBay whether Turbo Man exists.
Doing.
I'm going to look up Booster. I'm not going to go Turbo Man.
Oh yeah, no, there'll be plenty of boosters.
Yeah.
And look, I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than this movie goes off the rails. Watch the last half an hour of this movie. That's what I recommend to anybody.
Please
because it's just so fucking wild. And then Sinbad legit tries to murder this child and then gets the toy in the end. And I'm kind of
fully
like,
tries to murder him as well. Like, it's not a fucking thing. Like,
he's going to jail for a very long time.
100%. Oh my God, you can still buy them.
Turbo Man.
I have to change countries. Wait. I have a question while I'm searching this.
Sure.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Will you ever watch this again?
No.
Number two.
No, actually, I tell a lie. I'm going to watch that last half hour.
Why are you watching the last half hour?
Because I feel like I've been sleeping on this, man. I can't believe no one told me how fucking wild the end of this movie gets. I was legitimately, like, my jaw was on the floor. This movie gets fucking bonkers.
I don't want to see no sex-pest. There's Turbo Man t-shirts, Turbo Man talking Jingle All the Way. That can't be right. That price can't be right. That can't be right.
How much?
I want you to guess. That honestly can't be right.
So
you can't be selling it for that.
Describe the product to me. What is the product?
Jesus Christ.
I can't give you a monetary value.
Okay.
Tell me what we're doing.
Okay. Wait. I need to find the description. Okay. Exclusively made by Walmart by Tiger Electronics when the movie Jingle All the Way starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, oh, well done, came out in November 1996. 13.5-inch tall electronic talking Turbo Man action figure says 4 different phrases. It's Turbo time, good work Booster, beware of the evildoers, and you can always count on Turbo Man. He comes with a turbo pack complete with flashing sounds of rocket sounds, turbo lights, a turbo rang, the boomerang in his boot, and disc laser launcher with discs. Requires 2 AA batteries not included. How much are you paying for this, Tyson?
In box?
In box, mint condition.
$299.
What?
$299.
Oh, $299. Not even close. Up. You're paying $800 for this.
Oh, fuck me.
Are you kidding me? Fuck off. Who's buying that? This movie didn't do well. It's not like you've got an Andy Dufresne in a box. Like, oh my fucking God.
Fuck me, that's funny.
You can get the t-shirt for $30. Turbo Man. Are you kidding me? $800. Well, $759, but still. I rounded up.
Postage.
And postage.
That'll round it up. Okay. Jingle All the Way heads out there. Has anyone got a Turbo Man? Because if you do, I'd be very interested to see it.
Wouldn't burn yourself, you idiot. What are you doing?
It'd be fun.
Oh my God, there are people selling more of them. $994.
Jesus,
that can't be right. No one's paying $1,000 for this.
No, but this is the problem, man. This is what pisses me off.
What? Okay.
That I didn't have the foresight
to buy one
back in the day. No. Because these are the things, man. You got to think about.
Yeah. We had this when we talked about.
We've got rooms full of horseshit movie-related stuff because you never know. You never know.
Exactly.
You don't know what movie's going to have that kind of lasting...
no, we did this last episode. No one's going to buy my Phantom Menace poster in mint condition.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about that. I think you made a bad call on that one.
No.
But like even, not so much special edition like DVD packs and stuff like that.
Okay,
but when a movie comes out, if you do see a random like movie tie-in product that's a little bit unique, yeah, I just always think you should buy it. Especially because you just never know. You absolutely never know because that movie might take off and be the biggest thing in the world.
It could be.
Could you imagine if you had like if you had a mint condition Luke Skywalker still in package from 1978,
mint Millennium Falcon?
But yeah, you could retire. You legitimately could retire, probably.
No, you couldn't. I don't think so. No, okay. But you would be.
You'd pay rent for a year, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's not too bad. That's probably enough to get yourself relatively comfortable for at least another few years because then you're saving all your cash.
Yeah.
It's all
I
good.
know that I looked into it for a while because being a collector of comics, and the biggest comic to own and you're not getting money for it, you're keeping it as an asset.
Yeah.
It's a deposit on a house, basically, especially in Australia. Jesus Christ. And it's the first issue of Spider-Man.
First Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's not Superman, it's not Batman, it's Spider-Man. That's the one that all the fans want.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah, that's quite a bit of money if you've got that in mint condition. And Jesus Christ, if you have that mint, my name's Nicholas Kashka. I have a podcast with my friend Tyson. We'd love to have you on.
I was about to say donate to our Patreon.
100%.
All right, well,
But Jingle All the Way.
I think that's all we're going to talk about.
My last question.
Oh, yes, go.
Tyson.
Yes.
Wait. Are you going to see this?
Jingle All the Way 2, starring Larry the Cable Guy.
Who the fuck is Larry the Cable Guy?
Larry the Cable Guy. He's a terrible American comedian that's been in movies like Delta Farce and...
Delta Farce? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
What else was he in? He was also in...
Oh, he's the voice of Cars. He's in Cars?
Yeah, he's the voice of Mater in Cars.
Okay.
So his whole shtick is that he's like a big old redneck.
Okay.
And everything's all like basically Mater, the character of Mater in Cars is his stand-up persona.
Okay.
What are some of his other movies? He did do you know what he did? He did the second Tooth Fairy movie as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. 2 sequels?
Yeah, but most of his stuff is just garbage. Yeah, Delta Farce is the only one that comes to mind at the moment. I know there's at least 2 or 3 others that were his original properties.
Would you like to know the plot for number 2?
Sure.
It's actually better than number 1.
Oh.
2 dads, 1 mission, double holiday fun. Larry's daughter wants only one thing for Christmas, a talking bear. I added Teddy Ruxpin. His daughter's stepdad intends to make sure that Larry can't get one. There we go. That's a bit more of a premise there.
Bit interesting with the dad and the stepdad.
Exactly.
There's already inherent kind of animosity there, trying to prove which one is the better dad to the daughter. Yeah, okay.
Pretty sure that movie stars Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. But
good point.
That's better than number 1.
Well, I mean, look, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think that movie would be better than this movie.
All right.
This movie's no good, but I'm fairly certain that movie's a dumpster fire. Sight unseen, I know I'm going out on a limb.
Sure.
Larry the Cable Guy in fucking Jingle All the Way 2 is probably not a good movie.
Okay, good. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
All right, I've had enough of talking about Jingle All the Way.
Oh dear, that was something. Christmas.
That was a hard slog. I tried my best.
It's beginning to look like Christmas.
Toys let's in every store.
Let's move on to our next segment.
I feel like we need to sing a different song. I sang that last week. What's another favourite carol? Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shine. Is that the words?
Yeah.
Shining.
It's a bit of a serious one, though. I like.
Is it? What do you like?
What about?
Give me something juicy.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening.
Oh, I like it.
A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. There we go.
I like it. Nice.
A Christmas carol that doesn't mention Christmas at any point.
Oh. Tyson.
Yes, Nick.
What did you watch this week? All right. Tys.
Fuck me.
I'm going to go first.
It's late.
It is late. As I said before, ladies and gentlemen, I needed a mad palate cleanser, and I celebrated that fact by watching 2012's Dread.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Pete Travis directed this thing.
I like that movie a lot.
Carl Urban. This movie... God damn, this movie's good. This movie is really good. I love it. I love the city is such a lived-in city. The environment is amazing. I hate that we're not getting it. We will never see a sequel to this thing.
It is disappointing.
It's really sad. This thing made no money.
No, and it was the perfect movie to set up for like a certain amount of success, and then say, okay, well, we'll give you more money for a sequel and see what you can do with it.
I just wish that they did. This movie is so good, and really, and I pinpointed the reason why I love it is because it is old school 80s action again. This thing is violent. It is very violent. It does
feel very throwback action film, yeah.
So it is. Oh God, it's good, and it sticks. And the best thing about this is it stays true to the original text. It doesn't take his mask off. It stays within the elements of the story. Doesn't go off in any tangents, things like that. The character development is all the way through it. It's very confined. It's almost like a bottleneck episode, but it's not. You've got a lot of the, like, if you were a reader of the comic, it's got a lot of the gangs in there, which is what he fought. He fought a lot of the gangs. It's to concentrate on one gang. I love the training element in it, that he's taking on a rookie and seeing if she can take it out in the field. I love that. And, they just get lumped with a fucking really badass situation.
Yep.
Their effects are amazing.
They do really well with a very small budget. The slow-mo effect is really great. I think.
It's really good. Like, I
really
know that a lot of people had issues because the slow-mo effect was right in the midst of 3D, and that was a big thing. But what the director has done with this has made it so that, yes, if you are a fan of 3D, which if you are, well done. But if you are not, the effect still works.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've never seen it in 3D, and I completely love it. And I think for fun, it could be interesting to watch it once or twice in 3D, but I don't think it changes the experience that much.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of this movie.
I was a huge fan of Dredd. I really, really liked it. It's tight, it's mean, it's super lean.
Yeah.
It's not, because it's over pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I like that we, within a year or so of each other, we had two basically movies that were the Raid.
Same thing.
Raid and Dredd. Yeah. Basically the same thing. I think I like Dredd better.
They're very different movies, though. Like, it's the same premise, but they're, you're getting very different films.
I know. I've talked about how much I love and also don't love the Raid movies at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I found Dredd to be incredibly engaging. And Carl Urban doesn't get enough gigs. Like,
no, man, he's really good.
He's always solid. Really, really underrated actor, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
And gets a lot of opportunities, but no one ever really
uses into his full potential.
Yeah,
which is where this movie needed a sequel, and, Carl Urban's getting more movies,
Yeah, for sure.
It was really good, man. It was so good. I'm really pissed.
Yeah, I might give that a rewatch. I think I own it.
Fuck the Snyder Cut. I don't want to see that. I want to see fucking Dredd 2. Dredd 2, the new batch.
What's Pete Travis doing with himself these days?
That's a good question. While you talk about yours, I'll look that up. Tys, what did you watch this week?
I've watched a shit ton.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I watched a heap of stuff. I'm going to just do it quick, and then the last one we'll talk about, because I think we might talk about it for a little while.
Oh, nice.
I watched Shadow, which is it's on Netflix. It's the most recent film from I can never pronounce this right, but Zhang Yimou.
Yeah.
Or Yimou Zhang, however you pronounce. I think you might pronounce. I'm not sure. From Hero, House of Flying Daggers.
Oh yeah.
That guy. A movie about a Chinese commander in the army who suffers a defeat during a duel, and in order to maintain the belief that it wasn't as bad as it was, has a shadow, a person who has been with him since he was young, who looks like him and can pretend to be him while he's recovering.
Yeah.
And in amongst all that, while he's recovering, he's also planning to overthrow the king. King?
Okay.
I call him kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, king.
The emperor?
Sure, yeah, something like that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, really interesting. It's a very different visual style, considering usually we're used to Hero, House of Flying Daggers, even The Great Wall, a movie that I think is a little bit underrated.
Yep.
Very colourful, uses colour really effectively.
Okay.
This is almost entirely designed to look black and white. So all the costumes, all the interior design, all that kind of stuff, black and white, shades of black and white.
Yep.
The only real colours you see are blood and earthy kind of browns here and there.
Okay.
Action scenes are really fucking pretty great. They use sword umbrellas is the weapon of choice.
What?
And they are very cool.
Okay.
It's a beautiful film to look at. I think it was just maybe a little bit underwhelming from a storytelling point of view. It was very predictable, but it's an experience, and I think he carries it really well.
Yep.
Definitely worth it. If you enjoyed those films, it's just sitting on Netflix. Give it a watch.
Nice.
Watched the Lady and the Tramp remake, the live action remake.
Live action, yeah.
Very sweet, very harmless.
Yep.
not really doing anything of any great note, but a very enjoyable experience.
Okay.
If you are willing to just be in that kind of frame of mind.
Okay.
It's very sweet.
Did the animals emote this time?
Well, they're super CGI face.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're talking, they're lifting eyebrows, they're, giving, like, winks and stuff.
Because that was the feedback from
Lion King.
Yeah.
Some good songs, good voice performances. I really enjoyed it. Harmless, good family fun.
Nice.
It's not going to change the world, but pretty good watch.
Okay.
Rocket Man.
Oh, yeah?
Watched Rocket Man.
Any good?
Yes, it is good. It is good. It falls into a lot of the same traps of the musical biopic stuff.
Sure.
There are scenes and moments that you're just like, God, I just wish you hadn't done these because it makes you a worse movie. Like, like he's doing a gig and it cuts to the evil promoter going, oh, what's this?
Mid-song
and stuff like that. And you're just like, these are the tropes that we've got to get out of these musical biopics because
play the song.
We're just seeing the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like obviously it happened to Elton John, so it's not like it's a cliche to say, but the alcohol and drug abuse stuff, it's always handled the same way.
With a montage?
No, like just the way there's always the character outburst. There's always there's always somebody saying, you're killing yourself, blah blah blah. All this kind of, I don't bloody care. Like all that kind of stuff. Look, we just need a new way to tackle this stuff. We just need a new way because
fresh look at it.
Yeah, and they tried some stuff in this because it is pretty much a musical.
Okay.
So yeah, like fully staged musical numbers with Elton John songs mid action.
Right.
And sometimes it works, other times it feels really uncomfortable.
Okay.
And doesn't gel at all with what's happening.
Right.
But every now and then, real
Gel's
magic,
perfect.
like absolute magic occurs. Saturday Night which is the first appearance of Taron Egerton as Elton, is such a fucking banger of a number in this movie, and it's really, really great. But then some other stuff, like there's a sad ballad at one point where the family all start singing solo lines, and it was cringe-worthy.
Right.
Yeah, but overall, good.
Nice. I'll watch it.
Much better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Like,
much better.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bold statement right there.
I hated Bohemian Rhapsody, so it's not really a bold statement at all.
You did.
Yeah.
I thought
Jingle
it
All
was
the Way is better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Whoa! Come on, man. Come on. Rami Malek's performance on its own.
It was fun.
Come on.
Yeah, take away the teeth. What do you got?
Yeah.
Taron Egerton is miles away better than what Rami Malek's doing.
Whoa!
I believe. I know it's opinions. Everyone's got
right. Yeah.
I thought he was much better because he's not just putting on an Elton John impersonation.
Sure.
And like he's barely even doing that. He's just allowing. There are moments where
Elton John to,
and he just has these physicalities, but he is a character in this. He is not a caricature, and that's where
You think that Freddie was a caricature?
I reckon.
Whoa!
I think he did. Like I think it was a really good version of that.
Yeah.
But I really like what I think this is overall. It's miles and miles better.
Okay. I'd like to watch them. I need to watch them both again. Sam hasn't seen Bohemian. I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
It was too PG for me. It's not what I wanted.
Well, this is not PG. This is good.
Good.
There is some gay loving all over the place.
Good.
He's passion all kinds of dudes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they're not hiding that in any way, shape, or form.
Jesus, you watched a lot. What else you watched?
So the last one we're going to talk about, because we'll talk about it together, is we watched It Chapter 2 finally.
Ooh, okay.
So
Here we go.
Let's just have a brief chat. How did you feel about it?
I liked it for what it was, but it's not going to even come close to the first chapter. It's the same as the 90s Tim Curry that we did just gone.
Yeah.
The first half is great. The second half, it works. It's okay, but it's not going to touch what the kids have.
No.
Unfortunately, and that's just it's unfortunate because that's the way the story goes. I like what they did with the killing of the evil that is Pennywise. I thought they tackled it quite well because it's going to be it's hard. What are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
what,
I know.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You're right, but they just did the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, why did it take you so long to realize that? And they treat it like it's new information.
No,
and not one of them fuckers went, "Oh, you mean like last time?" Yeah, how come we've been down? Yeah, remember that? Yeah, I do remember that. What are we doing here? Let's do it.
I knew that. I think it was because of the amount of it was a lot of stress. They were very worried that they weren't going to get out, and the stakes were a little bit higher because they were adults, and the fact that they had forgotten everything.
Yeah. Look, I get that. It just,
but yeah, they did essentially do the same thing.
It felt really. I found the ending really underwhelming because it was like, I thought we'd discover some new different kind of element instead of just carrying on from what they did last time. Yeah. It actually just makes me think, well, they should have so how close were they to killing him last time? Like that's an interesting thought to me, because to me it was always that it was never like they were going to kill him last time. They just did enough to put him to sleep to take away his power for a little while.
For the next seven
Whereas it turns out that actually, no, he would have been dead if you just kept going.
Yeah.
And when he was crawling away back into the sewer, maybe you should have just been like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
and just let
You're nothing, you're not even funny. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. You're not Tim Curry, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a bit disappointing. I think for me, the parts that work in this movie are the adults hanging out in a room together.
Yeah.
Building character.
Need to be more of that though.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough of that.
Well, it's funny
because I felt more connected to the ones in the 90s.
I know, me too.
Rather
Isn't that
than these
weird?
guys, which I really didn't want because I love these actors, and I was like, no, you guys are great. Come on, I want you to,
everything
take me for
about
the ride.
what they do is more believable and better performed, better written.
Yeah.
But
I was
I'm
more
with you.
connected.
I felt a better connection between the group in the fucking miniseries, which is really strange because as if like
it's a miniseries.
I know we ended up liking that miniseries probably more than a lot of people do, the second half of it anyway.
Yeah.
But I was surprised about how much I was like, I wish we had more like we had. Like, I love that scene where they're in the hotel and they're telling the story about, Ben's telling the story about when he just ran.
Yeah.
Because he got called fat.
Yeah.
And like just little moments like that this one is missing.
Yeah.
And we get the Chinese restaurant
is.
scene, but it's not
as warm.
Yeah.
You don't get the I wasn't a huge fan.
We don't get to feel their magic together. Like
I need a little bit more.
It relied on the flashbacks to the kids to build
rapport
with
we
each
can't
other.
have that. We need
And
to
also
see the
kids
adults
looked
doing
creepy and weird because they'd been de-aged.
and little older,
God.
I was like, didn't you think to
Finn
film?
Wolfhard's glasses,
Like
eyeballs through the glasses, which were obviously CGI'd.
Yeah.
He looked like something out of a Pixar cartoon. It was so
looked
weird.
a bit weird. It did. How did you? Can we do spoilers?
Yeah, let's do spoilers.
Yeah?
Get up to do spoilers.
Okay. How did you like the ending with Bill Hader?
Yeah, that's great.
Did
I
you
love
like
it.
that?
Yeah, I think it's a really
liked that
nice
as well.
touch.
Yeah. I really liked that.
Their relationship, it was really well built. I think everybody had really good one-on-one interplay. I just think the group on a whole wasn't as coherent.
Yeah. But you didn't feel like they were a team.
Yeah.
And you did in that last
Bill
one.
Hader is great, though, in this. He's really good. He's a great choice. He's very funny. Yeah. He gets all the best stuff.
It was good. I will give it to it as well. The CG was spot on. Even you're talking about believing a big monster spider thing.
It looked pretty good.
It looked quite good. I really liked it.
There was some stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think that stupid thing that is the old lady was
stupid thing that's the old lady.
When the old lady runs out and she's a big thing like monster.
Oh, I forget it. Damn.
You know, the crazy old lady that was
the one in the painting.
No, that Beth.
Oh, yeah. That turns into Beth's dad. That old lady that was in Beth's dad's old house.
Well, yeah. But she just turns into a weird CGI like ogre in this, it was like laughable as a finish to that scene.
It was alright.
I think there's too much of that stuff.
I will say the scariness was quite good though.
Oh, I felt complete opposite of that.
Really?
I was not in any way scared during this movie. I think, and you know me, I really liked Pennywise in the first one.
Yeah.
Pennywise is the worst thing about this movie.
Whoa.
Everything to do with him brought this movie down.
Wow, okay.
Found him absolutely ineffective.
A lot of people hated the fact that Pennywise wasn't in it enough. I thought he was in it fine.
He was in it probably too much, to be honest.
Okay.
He had no impact.
Too much?
Yeah.
All right.
The
scene with when she went back into the house and the house went full black and was scary and stuff, you didn't care for that?
What house?
Her house. Beth's. Is it Beth? It's not Beth.
No, it's not Beth.
It's Beverly.
Beverly,
Marsh.
thank you.
Yeah, when they went back into Bev's house and it was all different and... Man, you didn't scare that scene when Eddie Kasprak and got spewed on by the leper again? Oh, that was messed up. No?
And Just Call Me Angel starts playing.
That was fucking scary. I hated that bit.
Just Call Me Angel.
I hated that.
No, that's a laugh moment.
No, I didn't like it. I was like, no, you ruined a bit that was meant to be absolutely petrifying with a Deadpool song.
Yeah. I found Pennywise effective for the first 10 minutes. Okay. I think in that scene where the two gay guys get the shit beaten out of them, which was, really,
that
really
was a
confronting.
Nice punch to the guts.
Oh,
no, you're watching something. Yeah,
it sets the scene incredibly well.
Yeah.
Just the complete depths of depravity in that town. Like, people are just evil, conquered by their own fear and by the evilness that runs through them. It's really, really it's an awful demonstration because it's very innocent and it makes you feel like they're exploiting this group of people in order to get an effect. But it's in the book, so it's an accurate recreation, and it gets its point across. It really, really does, because it feels really tragic. Seeing Pennywise just in the river, just reaching out, great. Awesome. There was not another thing. Anytime he turned up, I was just like, oh, no, this is actually the worst stuff in this.
Really?
Yeah. I laughed out loud at points.
Really?
Yeah. When he was licking the window in the Hall of Mirrors,
that sucked.
I laughed my ass off. I found that...
He should have literally because you need to drop it back a bit. It needs to not being so animated. The best parts about Tim's performance was that he just stood there. His presence is enough to scare the shit out of you. So when he does nothing, it just waves... or something subtle.
Yeah, something like that.
That's when you're like, oh, it's not full on scary. You're not seeing Freddy Krueger come down the hallway at you. No. It's not something like that. It's just subtly, oh, I'm out. No more. It kind of sends a tingle up your spine. There wasn't enough of that. It was more, no, I'm in your face, and that doesn't have its effect.
Compared to the effect that he had in the first one, I was really, really surprised at how little effect he had. There was nothing anywhere near as powerful as even just the moment of him, the balloons being released and him just standing there. Or that moment, remember when he bust out of the or when that slide just started fucking up and the hair changes and then he's in the picture. Yeah. That's like nothing even close to those moments in this.
That's true.
I just kind of got over him. I was just kind of like, you're actually probably the least interesting thing about this. And I wanted more of the people.
Yeah.
And then they did the thing of sending them all off on their own and I was like, I'm less interested in this now.
Yeah.
Because now we're just getting haunted house jump scare after haunted house jump scare.
And you're not helping the script.
And it's not,
you're not even scary. So.
Well, because I'm not in it, I'm not feeling the threat of Pennywise this time. So those scenes didn't really have an effect on me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I felt like much the same way.
I didn't hate it.
It was good. It just wasn't great.
I didn't hate it at all. The stuff that I liked, there wasn't enough of. But I really liked the stuff that I liked. I really liked it. Right. There just needed to be a ton more of it.
Yeah.
Which is a real bummer. Great cast. Really, really well cast.
Yeah, I just wish that they used them more.
I wish they'd used them more. I wish they'd... I don't know, maybe it was just lightning in a bottle because I think Skarsgård was just so good in the first one as Pennywise.
He was.
And I said it in our It episode. I liked him more than I liked Tim Curry in the miniseries.
Yeah.
And
I didn't. It's always Tim Curry for me. If someone says Pennywise, it's either Tim Curry or for some reason the band rocks up in my head. Remember the band Pennywise?
Yeah.
I remember. I just remembered Sam's after we saw it at the cinema. Sam was like, "Yeah, sorry, it was good, but there's no way that Ben Henchcombe gets that fucking hot." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you're taking."
He was probably the most
seriously. He was just man-poweredly sexy.
Yeah. You could put any of those kids next to the adults and you could see the evolution.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
You were like, wrong.
But you don't see it in the miniseries either. There's no way that fat kid became John Ritter.
Yeah, I know. It was funny.
It's funny. They just haven't been able to get that transition from what a chubby fat kid would look like when he did get hot. There's certain things that they just haven't been able to figure out.
Yeah.
But God, like the Eddie casting... It's beyond spot on. Like you feel like they've taken the kid and aged him up. It's that accurate. Yeah.
It was very good casting.
Very good casting. Damn. Anyway, we'll get a chance to have
Chapter
a
2.
good chat about that. Maybe one day we should do an episode about the both of them. Maybe.
Yeah. Ooh.
Little double feature.
I like that. Bring it on.
But yeah, that's. We'll be getting our way through most of the big releases of the year, and we'll get to have a little chat about them when we do our
wrap up.
We watch this week, and also our year wrap up.
Yeah,
that might feature.
Where does it sit? No, it won't. There's too many other good things.
But I think about when I'm going to have to pick scariest moments of the year, and I mean, is there anything in that would qualify? There's not really.
I have to watch it again, to be honest.
Not for me.
The start, to be honest.
Or maybe
what
the start. Yeah, the start was pretty. It was really off-putting.
Yeah.
Nick
Tyson,
next week. So we're back to our Not Quite Christmas Movie specials.
We are.
we're doing another action film.
We are doing another action film. I feel like this is going to be another Jingle All the Way. I feel like this is going to be
I really hope not.
a good movie.
I'm hoping it's a good movie.
I say we just watch Home Alone 2 again. No, I'm kidding. We're going to end it off well. But that we're going to keep a secret. Next week, Tyson, we're gonna Ben Affleck it up with Steve Buscemi. Did you say Buscemi or Buscemi?
Buscemi. No, Steve Buscemi. Buscemi.
We are reindeer games.
We're doing reindeer games.
Is that called something else?
No.
In other countries? No. Am I thinking of something else? I'm pretty sure.
Like somewhere in Germany, maybe it's. We did look this up.
I think we
it's
have.
Got a, it, not
it's
like
got
in America.
Name. No.
In Eastern Europe, there's a weird name for it.
Okay. Reindeer games.
Reindeer games. Ben Affleck. It's John Frankenheimer, I think, is the director.
Is it?
It's a
Can't believe it.
Heist crime movie set around Christmas.
I remember it not being good.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
I saw it back when? Way back when?
Well,
when was it?
Well, it's because we're running out of not quite Christmas movies, Nick. We're already there. We've only done 2 years worth of this. We're nearly out of them. Hey, Nick.
We're just going to watch horror movies. Fuck it.
Yeah, we'll just watch horror movies that happen to do. We'll watch Silent Night, Deadly Night 4.
Yes. Yeah.
Tyson, Nick, tell the people where they can find our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to our podcast. Oh, Jesus, late. Listening to our podcast. We do appreciate you 100%.
Wrap it up, man. We're falling 100%.
Please like, subscribe, rate, review everywhere. Do it on Apple Podcasts, because that's where it helps our algorithm. Other than that, we're all over. Jesus, socials.
You're doing so good, man.
Facebook, Instagram,
I'm with you.
Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're on Letterboxd. It's past my bedtime.
It's past everybody's bedtime.
Yeah, we're all chilled out. Hopefully, you've got your Christmas shopping done. You're wrapping some presents
already.
Wrap your presents while listening to this show.
Do that. I think we said that last year as well.
Did we really?
Yeah, I don't think that's a new concept.
I think you should do it again.
I think we said that for our Christmas special when we did Home Alone.
Nice.
Well, that's going to wrap us, Nick.
Reindeer games, nice.
Reindeer games.
We'll see you
wait.
next week.
We'll see you then.
Lovely.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.